When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. That you might work.
Welcome back to another episode of the Michel Matters Podcast. I'm Jocks Michel.
And I'm Jackie Michelle.
Welcome back.
Hey, guys.
Hey, man. Another episode.
Yes.
Trying to get back on schedule.
That's right.
So I guess to recap, let's tell everybody how the last few weeks have been.
We got to break down a whole kitchen. Maybe not a whole kitchen, but a kitchen.
Nah, what else? That's a whole kitchen.
I mean, there was a wall that was supposed to be broken down too.
Oh, nah.
But she left that to the professionals. So one of our friends is remodeling her kitchen and she needed a little demo crew. So it was 4 of us and it was pretty exhilarating for me. Like, because we actually talked about that, like going to one of those like smash shit places. And yeah, it felt good, like breaking tile or, seeing you guys rip cabinets and stuff.
I mean, it was a lot of work. Definitely woke up a little sore after.
It was a workout.
Because it was a lot of,
But y'all was like moving big things. I wasn't.
Yeah, so it was fun though. Definitely something I'm, put on my resume. I have demoed a kitchen we ended up, taking the sink out, disconnecting like the food processor and all that stuff. And then ripping the cabinets off the wall. That was fun. We thought we were going to like really use a sledgehammer. We didn't do much, but that was just us being extra. But yeah, it was.
I used the hammer though.
Yeah.
On the tile. It
was an experience. But it was fun. And now it's like, you always hear people talk about like, do some of the work yourself because you'll feel, you'll have more like stake in it. Sweat equity. Equity is what the experts tend to say. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we got a little bit of that process and now I'm like excited to see what the final product looks like. Yeah. Knowing that, we played a part in the beginning of it.
That's right.
So hopefully, we can see that fruit of our labor eventually.
It was cool to see like what's behind that stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because it's not always. Sometimes it's just cheap stuff behind.
Sometimes
the cabinets, or if it's an older home too, they just use different stuff. So that was interesting.
And you see, like when people do crappy work, what it looks like.
Yep.
You don't be knowing what's going on under or beneath a lot of those things because they be up for so long too. Mm-hmm. And you be finding stuff you didn't even know you had when you start moving everything. Yeah. But that was a process. Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I remember when we first bought a house, like I was like, that's something I don't want to do. I don't want to like demo. I don't want to give me something that's ready to go. Granted, I still don't think I'm ready for like a complete fixer upper, but now I know I could do certain things. Like, okay, let's get it done.
I still don't want to do that. That's not my ministry. But it was fun for the moment.
Just fun for the moment. Okay.
Yeah. Like, if I had a friend who flipped homes or something, and they just needed a demo crew every now and then, I'd be down. Okay. But that's not going to be my... No. And that same week, we had, like, a double date with your parents.
A very impromptu double date with my parents. Yeah. Might I add. My mom was trying to call me. I didn't answer. And I guess she spoke to Jackie.
Okay, so I was at my parents' house just because, and you'll see, or if you haven't seen it in the vlog, I was spending time with my mom and, helping her with a lot of things going on in her family. And so my mom called your mom.
That's what happened.
Yeah, and they were just catching up. And my mom was like, oh, Jackie's here if you want to talk to her. And your mom was like, yeah, I'll pass her the phone. So then we were talking and I was like, what are you doing tomorrow?
So you brought this on?
Yeah, because we were supposed to do this on her birthday.
Got it.
And I don't do broken promises.
Okay, carry on.
Promises. So yeah, I was like, oh, you want to London tomorrow? And she was like, I would love that. And I was like, okay, cool. So I got home and then I told you, and I was like, we're taking your mom out tomorrow. So it really was just going to take her out. Mm-hmm. And fun is just, you know, see the streets, what's up in the streets, you know, like drive around, whatever. And so before we're leaving his parents' house, his dad is just on the couch chilling. I'm like, what are you doing today? And he's like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna be here or whatever.
Good time.
I didn't do anything. It was just me and him in the room. Mm-hmm. And then your mom came back, and you know she had to do her city girls and was asking him for money. And
I would say that could be a whole podcast episode. The way my mom just like, and the thing is, didn't end up buying nothing. So I know she didn't
pocketed it for sure.
So we were supposed to go out with my mom, and we were supposed to go out with just my mom.
Yeah.
And she went to my dad before we left and was like, give me some money before we go. Granted, we wasn't going to no store or nothing.
You don't know. You gotta
and
be
she was
ready.
like, give me some money. So he did. He gave her money. And then we ended up all going out together. And we didn't spend no money. So I wondered, did she give the money back?
No.
So.
You gave it to me.
That's him. No,
you know where I live. So anyway, and she was like, don't follow me, that's not enough. But anyway, so we were just driving around, talking. We went to an open house.
Yes.
Which we like to do from time to time.
Yeah, and we spent so much time there. You would have thought we were going to buy the place.
Yeah.
Like, we were outside for like a good 30 minutes.
Because you'd be like, oh, okay, well, I could do this with this land, and I could do that. I'm like, we're not.
If we're going to be here, we're gonna dream a little bit. Because it's not like we be going to open houses for like houses we can afford.
Yeah.
We be out here. Like, we go look at places that's like, okay, let's dream a little.
Day.
Let's dream a little. So I'll be out there dreaming like, nah, if that was me, I would have did this right here. Or, you know, when we buy it, like we finna buy it. You know, we could do this, and that. Like, I remodeled their bathroom.
That bathroom needed some road.
Yeah, man. Like, I had plans for the outdoor space. Like, nah, that's...
Yeah. And we actually, like, we've gone to an open house before where it was like, this is our house. Like...
You were like this.
I
was like that for like a day. For like a day.
You literally walked out and was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to park right here. Like, how do I get this house? Like, and we could have got that house, but...
I sat in that driveway. I sat in that driveway for like 30. Like, we went to the open house. We just walked around.
And that day we went to like 2 or 3 open houses. Yeah.
I literally sat in that driveway after we walked out and for like 30 minutes trying to do the math to see if it could work.
What can I move around?
But nah, it's, you know, it's just something we do for fun. And we ended up taking our parents. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
It went better than I expected. So
it's always good.
I'm open to maybe trying this again at some point.
And like actually going somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yes. And then we tried Indian food. Well, that was my first time trying Indian food.
I be putting her on, y'all.
That was his second time.
If you listen to the last episode,
was his second
I'm on a
time
roll right now.
Trying Indian food. Don't let him.
Look, if y'all keeping track, so if you listen to the last episode, I took her to Rosie's Cafe. Bomb. I did that, right? Mm-hmm. I went again. Then I took her to this Indian spot. And it was more so just the fact, like, I told her she needs to try Indian food. Because I know her.
I told him I want to try Ethiopian food and Indian food. She
never said Indian. She always tried to give me Ethiopian food, which I'm just not ready for yet. I'm not ready for yet.
Now that I've tried Indian food, it's going to happen.
And I was like, knowing what I know about you and how you like your food, I was like, nah, I think you'll rock with Indian food. Now she was in there.
Spicy?
Yeah, like a little spicy. You like things with sauce and the flavor profiles. I was like, she gonna like this, man. Yeah. I already know.
Literally, like every bite, you're like, okay, what did they put in this? Okay.
Yeah.
And now you taste other stuff. Like, it was really, really good. I think I was hesitant to try Indian food because I don't really like curry like that. And I don't like Jamaican curry. I don't like any curry.
Yeah.
For the most part. But I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm going to try their special. Mm-hmm. So whatever is in their special, it better be bomb because you calling it your special.
I don't think they're saying it's like their special. Well, okay.
But it was good and it was curry.
Yeah.
And like I had leftovers and I was like, this is...
Mm-hmm.
top notch.
Like the presentation.
What was it? Roasted chicken or?
They
called it kebab. It wasn't.
No. Look, they didn't call it kebab. We were completely off. I just said, I know I like this. And he was like, okay, I'll give you that. And I only saw it on the menu as a kebab, but clearly they had it in different forms because they brought me something that was fire. Granted, it was like a hazard.
You ordered boneless kebab.
I did not order boneless kebab. We did not completely understand the menu. So
I understood the assignment.
Okay.
You?
Okay. But either way, I'm on a roll here, folks. Mm-hmm. And I had another bomb suggestion. It went through. And I'm just, crossing them off my list. It's just what I do now. So
okay. Well, next time we're going to the Ethiopian spot that I've been trying to go to for like 3 years probably.
Man, if y'all see where it is, y'all wouldn't go either. The
reviews are great.
I am very picky about where
we had the Indian food, it was just as sketchy. Nah. Just as sketchy.
If I could show y'all
the plaza Google, was just as
if sketchy. I just show you a Google Maps view of where it is, y'all be like, So, we'll see. I'm still haven't made my mind up yet. Okay. But whatever. I'm a little more open now. Mm-hmm. Cause Jackie done told me there's some spots that we just not going back to. Remember that breakfast spot you took us to?
Where?
With all it looked like they hadn't updated a thing from like 1975.
That was a random diner, and we were hungry, and I don't know why we even went in there.
Because you said honest. So. But
no.
Nonetheless. All right. So you got anything else?
No, but we do have comments on social media.
Okay.
So we had an Instagram comment that was from our last Pillow Talk episode.
Okay.
Together but separate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so she says, my thing is massages. And I guess she means like her alone time thing. It's massages and the nail shop. Seems so expected, I guess, but that's my me time. I've done movies and restaurants for myself quite a bit in the past, but not so much since she's been dating her boyfriend, and she loves it. She likes people watching at restaurants and not feeling hurried or obligated to talk. Oh, that's true.
What?
Because when you go out to eat with people, you talk to them.
Yeah.
When you eat with yourself, it's like, I don't have to talk to you.
There's no one to talk to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I can actually just eat this food.
Yeah. Enjoy your food. Walsh. Yeah.
And not enjoy the time. Just enjoy the plate. But anyway, okay. I get you. I also want to take a trip by myself. Her and her boyfriend talked about it. And he claims he wouldn't mind, but he was throwing some shade. I feel like I wouldn't have had as much fun on a trip without him. A purely solo trip. But I still want to do it one day. And swimming might be her solo thing as well. She doesn't think her boyfriend enjoys it as much as she does. So it's definitely something she can make her thing. Okay. I feel like swimming was another comment somebody made too.
Yeah.
In our previous episode. So yeah, y'all had a lot to say about that episode.
Yeah, I need the guys to start commenting because the girls be coming through. And commenting. I'm gonna need the guys to come through and comment. Maybe I gotta post about it more.
Yeah, maybe.
And get some interaction, get the people going.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to know what guys do by themselves. That's not weird. So subscribe and rate us on Apple Podcast. That helps get us noticed, more listeners. Send us comments on Instagram at Michel Matters or on Twitter at
Coach_GLX.
All right.
I was ready this week. I had to time it up, make sure I'm coming too early. I was like, I know it's coming.
Or you can send us voicemails at 954-652-6519 and support the podcast on our website, buy merch, click the links, all of those things such as. So, let's move on.
All right.
All right, so this episode's current matter is based on something that I recently watched, and it brought about an interesting topic for me. So you guys know that I have been watching a lot of television during quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And one of like the latest shows that I've been watching is The Encore. It's on BET, and it basically has a lot of our old faves who were, you know, the R&B singers of the time, all in a house, and they're supposed to like record music together, perform it, all this stuff. So one of the people on there, well, I'll list a couple. It's Aubrey O'Day from Danity Kane, Nivea, the Cherish twins, Pam from Total, the 702 sisters, and it's a couple others, but it's a lot of people in the house.
Clearly. I don't know.
Oh, it's the girl from 3LW.
What kind of house Mona got these people in?
It's not Mona.
Oh, my bad.
But after watching it, and it's still going on, I'm sure, so you guys can catch up. But Nivea is one of the people, and she is now, she did an interview with Kandi Burruss, and because her husband is the producer of that show, one of the producers of that show. And so she did an interview with Kandi, and she was just basically talking about her life before industry and like during her time in the industry, when she got out, and present day, like all of the ups and downs. She was basically like raised by her grandma because her mom was on drugs. And at some point she was on drugs and fighting for her kids as well. And just hearing about like the stuff that went on when we were in high school, like just things that celebrities were doing at the time. It's just like, really? Like, oh, you're with this much older man and he's your manager now. And so, of course, now he has control of your money. Mm-hmm. So you can't even tap into that once you leave the industry. It's just a bunch of stuff. She talked about her relationship with Lil Wayne, and how basically they were living together, but he moved her to an apartment. Meanwhile, he was moving Toya into the house that they were just in, and they were getting married.
A king.
And with Wayne, when she was with Wayne, she was pregnant, but Lauren London was pregnant with Wayne's baby at the same time. Like, I remember all of these things.
Crown this guy.
I remember all of these things, and just like how crazy that sounded. But it's hearing it from their perspective that's just like, this is insane. And she was just saying like her and Lauren bonded over that because, you know, everybody looking at them crazy. So, but it was just interesting listening to her story and just like the struggles that she faced and how she's overcoming them and has overcome them. And so it just made me think of struggle.
Yeah.
And if there's any benefit to struggle. So that was the current matter. I don't know if you have anything to add about Nivea, because this is going to be a blend to the Michel Matter too.
Yeah, the thing with Nivea, because I only saw part of it. I don't know much about her story, but it was the little clip that you showed me where she was like
crying. Yeah,
she was like crying hard because I guess at some point she was saying like she was digging through her car looking for was it like just
her carpet
crumbs of cocaine, like a crumb. Like it's crazy how strung out she was at the time, and just kind of like to you know be that down bad and like come up and find a way out of it. It's admirable like to be able to get out of something like that, because not everybody does. Most people don't. Like that thing begins when it get its claws in you. At least those types of addictions. So she's a success to be where she is. Success. But yeah, I just felt her pain. Yeah. And it got to me was like I didn't even want to listen to it no more because it was just too sad. And I don't like. But I don't do recreational sadness.
Okay.
What?
I'm just gonna ease on down the road. Yeah, I think. I mean, especially seeing her on the show now, she still got it. Like, she still has her talent. Like, she still sings. You know, obviously she's a little older, so and she hasn't probably been.
We know crack don't ruin talent.
Because of Whitney.
I didn't say it, you did.
I mean, it didn't. But Yeah, so she still got it, and especially if she continues to like use her gifts to do it, like she could still be out here, you know. Yeah. I feel like people would listen to her. People were even in the comments, in the YouTube comments, like, Kandi, write her a hit. Like, come on, we could do this.
It's because I would say most of us can kind of relate to struggle, where it's one of two things: either like we've also struggled and made it out, or some people who are struggling and still struggling. Yeah. And it's like, to see somebody else make it, like, that's inspiring.
Right. So I feel like when you look at, especially celebrities, just because they're in our face all the time, celebrities with talent, I should say, they, for the most part, have overcome struggles to get to where they are. And that was almost like the driving force to how they got there. I don't know LeBron James' story. Yeah. I don't know, whatever story. But I'm sure it was like, I didn't want to stay in whatever situation I was in. And so I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get to where I need to go. And so I've just been finding that a lot of people have more of an urge to thrive because they're going through something.
Yeah, facts.
So how have your struggles pushed you, like, to go harder?
And it's like, it's so easy to, like, I'm trying to be as level-headed as possible about my struggles, right? As far as
everybody's struggles ain't the same.
Yeah, but I also don't want to, like, up the struggle. So it's like, man, I was out here down bad. Yeah. Like, I was walking to school 20 miles and, I was walking through about 4 or 5 games to get to school. Like, it wasn't like that. Like, my struggle wasn't like that. But I had certain struggles that, I do think motivated me early on specifically. Because I can't say, like, as I got older, like, my family situation kept getting better. Like, the older we got, my dad started getting better jobs and, my money started coming through or whatever.
So that's more so like financial struggle.
I mean, yeah, that's all. Like,
for you, because that wasn't correct. Her struggle was drugs.
Right. So, like, growing up.
And men.
Huh?
I said her struggle was drugs and men.
Yeah. So, like, growing up, we didn't have everything. So, it would be like, I don't want to do it too much, but because I know if my parents ever heard me like describe some of our struggles, they'll probably get upset. Like, why you saying this? You gotta blast them. I'm just saying. But we did have a point, and I guess this is like public knowledge, like, where I was going to private school, and it was me and my sister. I think it was me like just 1 year, where all 3 of us were in private school together. But that's expensive. Yeah. And my parents really my mom really wanted us to go to private school at that time. So we would have to like clean classrooms after school to be able to like cut out some of the tuition. And
that, that's how I met you, right?
That's not how we met.
That's crazy.
But that's like when I ran into you for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time.
But we didn't really like meet.
I mean, we still didn't know each other, but had you not been in the class, obviously, you shouldn't have been in the class cleaning, but I'm just saying, had you not been there, I would not have known who you were.
I'm not, there's not no divine intervention or something.
That's God.
No.
God wasn't in your struggle?
Not in that way. He wasn't in that way.
Okay.
I was looking for God. I wasn't looking for you at that time. But, so like stuff like that. I remember when I would get like bad grades, my dad would do this thing where he'll like stick out his hand and he'll tell me like, look at my hand, and his hand be all calloused and dirty. And he's like, this is because I worked so hard to take care of you. And it's like, when you come up like that, to me, I always just wanted more. Like, and I knew the only way I could get more is if I went out and either worked hard or got an education. And like, I always feel like that stuff motivated me. Like those type of struggles, like, I don't want to clean classrooms. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, your classmates in there. Sometimes teachers say stupid stuff. Like, and it's like those type of things like motivated me. I was like, you know what? I got to get out of here. Like, I got to go to school. Got to go to college. So I feel like that stuff especially when I was younger, motivated me a lot to go out and go get it. And it pushed me. I think successfully pushed me to do better.
Yeah.
In life.
Wow.
But yeah.
I feel very privileged right now. Why are you laughing?
But at the same time, so okay. Like I mean,
at the same time, you were also privileged because you didn't have to go to that school. But
correct.
But I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I don't like, as far as a child, I don't recall like a struggle like that drove me. Like, I think just knowing my family history and just seeing my parents work hard drove me to work hard. So it wasn't necessarily a struggle that I had to face to work hard. I think once it kicked into gear though, after college, I had a little job or whatever when I was in New York. New York changed my life. Yeah. Like, it just changed my life. And I want to say my rent was like $500 a month.
And I know most people in New York are like, we don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they upset.
They don't want to hear it.
They're upset. It was like $500 a month. I think my parents paid for 4 months. And they were like, you have until this date right here to get your life together. Because you have a bed right here.
Yeah, facts.
And yeah, that right there was like, do I want to be broke in New York? Or do I want to... Because broke in New York is a whole another situation.
Ask Diddy.
Okay. I don't know. I still haven't heard it. So I don't know.
Right. So I've been... Hold on. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So, and this is why I also try to be very measured in the way... Because like...
Yeah, you talk about struggle?
Yeah, like I have struggles, right? Like, and like I said, I have more that, you know, we just gonna keep them family business is whatever. But like... Yeah. So it's easy sometimes to embellish a little bit when you're trying to like put some sauce on it. And a prime example was my man Diddy. So
this is my first time
hearing it. It's your first time hearing it.
Yeah.
So this was Diddy talking about, well, I let Diddy talk for Diddy.
Okay.
You can do it, you can be whoever you want. You can be eating mango too with the ocean as your backyard. I ain't special. I just want it bad, you feel me? And I'm going to allow myself to not have mango. So I hustle hard, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not doing my way. No, baby.
So that was a video of Diddy, like he's on vacation. And it's nice, you know, set a nice background.
Okay.
And in the caption, it says, one day when I was growing up, I woke up and there was 15 roaches on my face. At that moment, I said, hell no, I refuse to live like this. Work hard, believe in your crazy dreams, and never settle. And I ain't gonna lie, I read that, and the first thing I said was, that's cap.
It gotta be.
That's
15
cap.
Roaches on your face? First of all, your face can't be that big.
First of all, did you count?
I mean, the roaches we deal with in Florida.
Bro.
15 of those things on your face?
Bro, I was like, nah, Diddy is capping. But at the same time, I get it.
And that didn't wake you up? You just woke up.
Like, I think the story would have hit hard if you would have just said it was a roach crawling
on the floor. It was roaches on the floor.
Or even if it was just one. Just give me one.
No.
Just say it was one roach.
No.
15?
It could be a roach on the floor. That's just Florida.
But the thing about a roach on the floor...
But if you wake up and you see 15 roaches on your floor...
Nah.
If you see 4 roaches on your floor...
Wait, okay. Alright, let me... I'm not...
What? On your face? Like, 15, we get it.
15 roaches on the floor don't even hit, like, a one roach crawling on your face. If the roach made it to your face...
That means it made it to your bed.
You got roaches everywhere. I know you got roaches everywhere in your house if the roaches made it to your face. Yeah. If you got 15... Alright, you may not know, but if you ever had a struggle where you walk into, like, you know... like your bathroom, kitchen, in the middle of the night, you flip the light on, roaches crawling everywhere. Like, they scattering because you came interrupted their time.
Yeah.
You know that, hey, 15 roaches just may mean, you know, y'all got a little problem. You might have to call the pest man or something.
The pest man?
Yeah, you might have to call the pest man or something.
Working.
Might need a tent, but, you know.
Cut it out.
If the roaches made it to your face, y'all got to move. It's time to move.
I mean, I guess it could be the little ones.
I don't care. Once the roaches make it to my body.
Because I'm sure you waking up and you probably just feel like, oh, it's a little... you know, you just feel like your hair in your way or in your face or if it's like a little gnat.
Nah. That boy can't be on my body. I'm sorry. We're going to have to move. Burn it down. We're going to have to move.
Because even when I could be at a cookout or something and it's a fly on somebody's hair, I'd just be so disgusted. And it's just like, there's going to be flies here. But, like a roach...
All right, we're not going to turn this into like a pest control podcast.
Anyway, I get what he was trying to say, though.
Yeah, like...
You, too, could be on a beach eating mangoes.
Like,
you don't have to.
Some people need that, like, pivotal moment, right? Where you are full acknowledgement of your situation and you pivot. You like, no, I put my foot on the ground. Like, this is it. I'm not going in that direction anymore. I'm going to go in the opposite direction. Like, some people need that moment. Yeah. Like, and maybe you didn't have, like, crazy moments like that, right? But I think as parents, that's successful. Like, you don't... on a roach a couple times. Okay. But I'm saying, like, as parents, I think that's successful. Like, my kids didn't have to struggle the way I struggle. Or, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I think... Or,
like, even times when they actually did struggle while I was a child, they never told me. Yeah. Like, it wasn't until I was an adult that they were like, oh, yeah, that's why we asked you to do this. Like, that's why we needed this from... Like, I'm like, oh, I thought you was just... that's just what parents did. Like, I didn't know y'all had issues. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I think about that because... I also credit a decent part of my success as a person to the immigrant struggle. Yeah. Where, because like my folks had to work so hard, it kind of pushed me. But the further we get away from, we talked about this before in previous podcasts, like the further we get away from it, you kind of lose that push because, you know, you're used to certain things. Yeah, you're a little more comfortable. And it's like, how do I build that up in my child who will not have those same struggles? I hope, God forbid, you know, that they don't have them same type of struggles. Yeah. But you still want to be successful because struggle can't be the only way to success because not everybody gonna hit them points. And I'm also a firm believer in like, because I don't want to make it seem like those are the only type of struggles because people have all type of struggles, like Nivea with the drugs or I think some of those things you would hope you learn from other people's mistakes. You don't got to go through the same ones. Correct. And that's where I would want maybe like my kids to be at, where they learn from my struggles or they're able to see. I would hope my kids don't have to learn everything by banging their head against the wall and getting the rock bottom. Yes. Because that's you gonna learn.
Is that the only way to do better?
Yeah, you gonna learn, but it's a heavy price to pay to learn.
I actually seen somebody post that. It was probably like some therapist page where it was like, I'm not trying to learn everything the hard way.
Yeah, correct.
And it's so true. I think a lot of the struggles that I saw people dealing with, I was like, oh, so I guess if you do that, that's where you finna end up. Mm-hmm. And therefore, I don't want to be there. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. But everybody's not like that. Mm-hmm. Like, Nivea saw her mom on drugs and still did drugs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like, that don't work for everybody. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta feel it. Like,
I credit success in our relationship to struggles, but not our struggles, but struggles that we witness. I feel like, unfortunately, but fortunately, like...
So there's a benefit to struggle.
To learning from somebody else's struggle. Unfortunately, somebody else had to go through it for us to see it and learn from it. That's God. Hey, man. Favor ain't fair, right? Like, we watch people struggle in certain relationships, and we learn from
time after time.
Because it could have went the other way.
Yeah.
It could have went like we seen those struggles and we repeated them.
Yeah.
But thank God, you know, we saw those struggles and we did something different. And, you know, so far, you know, we doing all right.
Yeah,
like
7 years,
know? But I credit success in our relationship to struggle. Even like we haven't struggled financially in our marriage, but it took a pivotal moment in our relationship for us to kind of get our finances like straight.
Yeah.
Like, so there are benefits to learning things the hard way, but I do think ultimately, like you said, we need to, hopefully we can learn from other people's mistakes.
But we shouldn't hope that other people make mistakes.
They already made them.
Okay,
like,
from the
this
past.
Yeah. We've seen them all.
Well, that's also why it's so important for people to share what those are.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
Like, of course, Nivea got out of that.
Mm-hmm.
She got through her struggles. But somebody in the comments,
mm-hmm.
or somebody watching, because there was a lot of views. We'll link it, of course. Somebody watching got something out of that.
Yeah.
Because you heard the pain. Like,
yeah.
She was like, I didn't think I could get out of it. And she was literally like thanking God during the interview.
Yeah.
Like, some things it's like, you just have to share it. You never know like what
is gonna help somebody else.
Yeah, you don't know who you could be saving. Not saving, but you know what I'm saying. Saving from themselves.
To me, like, when I think of what it means to give back, that's what I think of, right? Yeah. Like, there's only so far, like, you keep coming back to your old neighborhood, these athletes, and they keep doing these book bag giveaways. Good, all good. But it's like,
don't do that.
That book bag is going to get ripped up.
Don't do that.
I'm saying there is more to like, you have so much more to give that maybe you don't know, or you don't know how to give it. But I think our stories to other people, like, I always say, I remember when I was coaching, I would always tell my boys, like, we would have these relationship conversations, and I used our relationship because it wasn't always like the straightest path to success. So it's like, from what I've learned, I pass that down to them. So once again, they don't have to learn the hard way. And there was something on the other side of it too. It was like, there's hope for, you know, even if things do go wrong, it can go this way, or it can go that way. But
never
it's like,
too far.
Yeah, but it's being able to use your struggle to help somebody. Like, I was watching this video. Man, it's random because I didn't even know we was gonna talk about this. So I was watching this video, and this dude, he had been out of jail for like a month or something like that, and he was driving by in an Uber, and he saw these prostitutes on the corner, and he stopped to one of the prostitutes, and he like just told her, take your life back. And whoa. She was like, and he was like, take your life back. And she was like, I guess they had like maybe a little short conversation. She was like, can I borrow your phone? And she called her dad. She wanted to call her dad. And she called her dad, and whatever, he left. Like, that was just kind of the end of the conversation. Like, she called her dad, and I guess they reconnected or something.
I mean, her daddy now has his phone number, so.
So, a few months later, I believe, he said her dad called him back. And he was like, you know, I reconnected with my daughter, and she ended up going to rehab and all this stuff.
Wow.
Because that guy said when he was in jail, somebody did that for him.
Yeah.
And then he went and did that. It was just like, knowing like where somebody is in life, knowing if you can help through whatever struggles you may have, just because these cycles gotta end. Like, hopefully Nivea's kids don't have to go on drugs, because her mom, like, their mom has been honest and open about what she's been through.
Right.
And you don't want to go through that as, you know, like, now that you know, it's like, okay, you could take certain precautions because you know where these things lead or whatever. Like, that I think that to me is the best way to help others, is to talk about your struggle. That's like why people do testimony in church.
Right.
It can give hope to other people.
Yeah.
Like, it's a powerful tool. Your story is a powerful tool.
Yeah. Sure.
You got too deep?
A little bit. I mean, but it's a deep conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were actually, well, you weren't really watching it, but I was watching a church service recently.
Oh, the one I gotta listen to.
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
You don't have to. But they were appointing elders at their church.
Oh, yeah, I'm not watching.
They were appointing elders at their church. And one of the people, I guess...
Oh, God.
So it turns
about.
out, though, that I guess people have been talking about him and his wife online. Like, people at
their church?
Or whatever.
Oh.
And he was one of the people...
Who was up for being an elder.
Correct. So him and his wife went up there, and that's why they read their testimony.
Huh.
Because it was things that he was being accused of he never even did.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a wild situation. I didn't understand, but yes, he was up for being elder. And he read a story about how him and his wife, or not a story,
their life,
their testimony of how he never said what the impropriety was or what the issue was, whose fault it was. They kept it very neutral.
They just said that they had separated.
But we knew he cheated, right? Like, it looked like...
That's what Jock said. I...
All right, my bad. Let me take this a little more serious.
Did not accuse
It seems that he was the one who failed the marriage.
Yeah.
And whatever. So, but it felt like a public confession. Mm-hmm. And it seemed unnecessary. Let me not say unnecessary.
I mean, if you nominating this guy to be an elder, I'm going to need you to get this.
We were just trying to figure out why they did that. So you said it was because people were talking about him.
Correct. And so I just feel like that's another type of struggle.
Yeah.
That's like people... It could be a struggle from the outside. It doesn't even have to necessarily be something that you did to your... Like, it doesn't have to be that I tried drugs and now I'm addicted. Or, like, can't find work, so...
Yeah.
You know.
I guess it's just weird that it became public in that way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I also... And this is why sometimes maybe... I think most people are forgiving of people, right, who don't come off, and I don't know these people. Right. If you come off as like very like too perfect, or which happens a lot in church, in church situations where like you would assume that so many people have never sinned before, the way they may talk and act. Yeah. But like if you're more upfront about your
struggles,
your fallibility, like you mess up just like everyone else. Right. People can't use it against you. People can't really use your faults as much against you because I accept that I am a fallen person. I make mistakes. I sin. Like,
yeah.
Hopefully that's not what that situation was, where it's like, you know, some people feel like they gotta humble you, and
that's clearly what that was.
Society likes to try to humble people who think they above reproach like that. So,
yeah.
You know, it can work against you in that way.
Yeah. Has anybody ever come back around to you? Like, have you ever shared a struggle and somebody came back to you and said, "Oh, like that helped me," or whatever? Kind of like the prostitute story.
Not the prostitute story, but
I mean, not a prostitute. But...
No. But I have like had like some of my former players will come back and tell me, you know, they remember certain conversations, and how, you know, hearing my story. Like, I know the relationship one has come up a few times where people tell me that's helped them make certain decisions, and, you know, maybe not end as well as our relationship, but it kind of avoided certain, it kind of avoided certain things. Yeah. So yeah, I've had that, but I deal with so many people. I hope it's more eventually. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that. I think probably like in work settings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think people have come back and told me stuff. But like, yeah. I think too, I need to just be, I guess I should share more of my struggles.
Yeah. I've thought about that. And I mean, we've talked about it.
Yeah. Cause it'll just come up.
Yeah.
Like, or if like you're a really close friend of mine, then of course, like you're going to see me walk through them.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Cause I think people are receptive to honesty.
Yeah.
I think because especially in the social media age, like too many people come off as like they have no problems or everything is always good at all the time. Hearing people be open and honest about certain things, I think is refreshing to find. And it's something we've talked about that I think eventually we'll get much better at is talking about all of our struggles, and hopefully, even if we affect one change, like that would be successful.
Right.
That would be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like the struggles that you witnessed or knew about, was that like a legit conversation, or it was just you just knew about them? The ones that you were like, okay, I see that this was a struggle. I'm not gonna do that.
Some both.
They told
I think
you,
both.
or
both.
Yeah.
I think the majority I learned from watching.
Okay.
I'm very attentive.
Same.
And there were a few people who I feel like I think a lot of it happened like when I was getting married. When we were getting married, I ran into a lot of people who had a lot to say about marriage. And there were a few people who were like very sincere in the advice that they gave. Just because I don't agree with all of it, but I could feel the sincerity and like, I could tell they were telling me something from issues that they had.
Experience.
And it's like, okay, I can respect that. It was very sincere. So I did, there were a few where I was like, okay, I pulled something from that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that later. Cause their struggles. Yeah. I didn't know so many people were divorced. That was one of the things I guess I just didn't know. Like people that I knew who were on like their second wife, or cause I see them married, but then they told me, oh yeah, but I had got married when I was like 19. Oh. And like, it just didn't work out. And this is my second one, or it happens.
Yeah. I think most of of course, watching when it comes to relationships, a lot of things were not sit down and talk about it. It's just, it's right here, girl, in your face. So, but I didn't know that many divorced people. So as far as like marriage, I didn't really get that. I didn't see a lot of struggles. Because most of the stuff that I saw was just people at church or whatever. Which they had struggles too. But you would never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but now I think about it too, I also had a lot when it came to like work. So I remember I worked somewhere with a lot of people who did manual labor. And I remember that summer they came to me and they all were like, look, we never want to see you working here. Like, yeah. And they were like, it's funny how life comes at you full circle. So they were telling me that they're like, nah, man, you go to college, you get you an office job, work in the AC, this and that. And in full, like, I'm thinking about it now and I almost forgot. Like, there are a few of those people, I ended up being their boss. No lie. Like, really? In the same industry, I ended up being their manager, their project manager.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yikes. That's
crazy. And hey, no cap, no diddy. That's really what happened.
Okay, but in those situations, right? And I guess that's pretty similar to another conversation that we've had previously about like complacency in success or whatever. Do you feel like those people saw that as struggle where they were.
Yeah.
And so why, like, what was holding them back from getting out of that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least based on what you saw.
I think one of the things about being like unskilled labor, you don't see many other options. Like unskilled labor, like there's just only so many jobs you can do.
Yeah. And
they're all usually hard work.
Right.
So, and there's, once you start doing unskilled labor, a lot of places, unless you are very proactive, you will never move up. You will always be unskilled labor. Yeah. Because a lot of the people who are skilled don't want to train you. Because they think you're going to take their job. And it keeps you at a certain level. So it's an unfortunate position once you've done it for so long. Yeah. Like, you know, there's a lot of people like, they're older. Like, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go work on a computer. I don't even know how to type. Or like, it was, you kind of get stuck in that space.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely thought that they were struggling. They saw me as a young person because I worked there that summer with them.
Yeah.
So at the time,
this was the high school summer?
Yeah, it was a high school summer. I was working with my dad.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they were like all in the yard, like, we'll just, kick it. But they would be like dead serious because the way it worked was where the office was, it was in the middle of like Broward and like Dade. So some days, because I'd be forgetting all this stuff. So my dad had like, he would go to the yard in the morning together and I would work. He would leave and go work, out in the field in different streets, different intersections. And then he had a take home truck, and depending on where he worked, he wouldn't come back to the yard to pick me up. Mm. I would have to find a ride home with like random people. So I'd literally just be sitting in the yard like, yo, you going to Dade? You going to Dade? No, I'm going to Broward.
To Dade.
Yeah.
Dade is why, like, you going to Dade?
Yeah.
That could be anywhere.
Hey, that's just what I was doing. I ain't know the difference. I was like, yo, y'all going to Dade? And then like, they would take me home, and on the ride home, they would just talk about stuff. And I was like, yo, man, I don't want to see you working here. Like, you in high school, don't start working here after high school.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, go to college. Go get a desk job somewhere. And that was like a consistent thing because these people work hard. Mm-hmm. And they look at their boss like they don't work as hard for their money. So if it was up to them, if they had a kid and they just treated me as such, they was like, yo, go make some easy money.
Right.
Don't have to work hard like us and break your body down. And by the time you turn retire, like, you can't even enjoy it like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, do you have anything else to add or?
Nah, man. I hope y'all don't got to wake up with 15 roaches on your face to go get it.
That's insane.
Enjoy some mango on the beach like Diddy. But, no, I definitely feel like, yeah, man, we got to turn our rough situations into better ones.
100%.
It works. Hopefully we all don't got to learn that way, but it does work.
Yeah. Yeah. And let us know, like, if you were struggling and somebody said something to you that made you like, I need to shift this around. Like, this can't be my life. You know? Or if you were that person to somebody else.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. On to the business spotlight.
Yes.
All right. So for this episode's business spotlight, we wanted to highlight a minority-owned, women-owned business that I found. We were trying to, I think we were looking for like a healthy meal, and I was like, oh, I know this place. Yeah. I like randomly seen them on Instagram.
I don't know if we were like fasting at the time or something.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I definitely wanted to support because it was Black-owned and women-owned. And we ended up going. It was TropiBowls in Oakland Park. They serve all types of like acai bowls and smoothies and different things. So we went. I think I got a rice bowl.
Yeah.
And I think you did too.
I got a rice bowl. I don't remember what was in it.
Yeah.
But I got a rice bowl, and I want to say one of the juices.
Yes.
Like a fresh juice. But it was really good.
Yeah.
It definitely tasted healthy. But not in a way that's like, this is healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I felt like, okay, my body's gonna like this. Like,
yeah, I think we were like, I want to say vegan-ish at the time, but I don't remember. But I enjoyed everything we ate, and it was not one of those where, like, a lot of times for me, vegan meals taste like, I don't know, just
cardboard.
Yeah, but the food was actually good, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like up in Broward off of Commercial. We'll put all their information below, but I would definitely say go and support if you're looking for something on the healthier side.
Yeah,
and you're in that area, I would definitely check them out
for sure.
So I think that's it.
Yeah.
Another successful episode in the books.
Yes.
All right, guys. See you.
Bye.
Peace.
When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That just might work, ayy. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That just might work, ayy. That just might work. That just might work.